spent 18 years in high-tech industry, designing technologies for semiconductors and consumer electronics, and always wondered, how did I end up in that field? Because I did not have necessarily a great passion for it. The money was great, but that was just the way of making a living. So I had this burning question inside of me. How did I end up there? What was the purpose? Because I knew that everything happens for a reason, and I had to figure it out. I was climbing the corporate ladder in a pursuit of my financial wealth, which in the process of, I almost ruined the most important wealth, my health. And I knew that it was the time to shift the gears and really get on the right journey to discover what's really my body, what constitutes health, and what builds disease. Hi, my name is Lenka Koloma. I am a researcher, truth seeker, health expert, and author of international best-selling book in 6 self-help categories. And I made some amazing discoveries of really how this world, this universe functions, and how we actually can create the life of our dreams and optimal health, or how we can build disease and experience life of struggle and suffering. And today I'd like to take you on a little journey of my discoveries. So through designing consumer electronics, computers, smartphones, I found out that when I moved to the human tech, there were so many similarities. Like computer, we also have a hard drive. We have a computer which is called our brain. Because where else would we find the inspiration and motivation for all the designs we are creating? They come from the universe, from the world around us, and from our bodies. So we have brain, which can be compared to the CPU of our body, the central processing unit. It's this super powerful tool, but we've been never really taught how to use it properly. And we think that it's one brain, but when the brain is put into motion, you would find out that there are actually 3 levels of states we are in. So it's the unconscious, the subconscious, and the conscious mind. So the unconscious, we do not know about ourselves. We are asleep, we are in coma. The subconscious, that's the stuff in the background. And the conscious is when we are awake. But most people think that because they are not asleep in bed, that they are truly awake, that they are mindful, fully aware of themselves, which is absolutely not true. Only 5% of our brain activity is through our conscious thinking, through our conscious mind. The remaining 95% comes out of our subconscious mind, which is so powerful and overwhelming processor. It runs at a speed of 100 miles per hour and has capacity of 40 million bits of data per second, where the conscious mind travels only at a speed of 100 miles an hour and has capacity of 40 bits of data per second. So imagine the overpowering of the subconscious. It's 1 million times more powerful. So it's kind of like comparison of taking a car on a road, trying to raise the rocket, shooting up to the space. Without us even knowing, the subconscious mind is actually sending information to which represents then how we behave. And that's where our belief systems are coming from, our values, our thoughts, and our emotions. And you would wonder, why was it designed like that? Well, we had to learn a lot of things since we were born. Just remember, when you were born, you didn't know how to move all your 800 muscles in your body, how to crawl, how to walk, how to move arms, how to tie shoes. So we had to learn all these things. Just imagine if we had to relearn it every day. Just walking alone took us weeks and months to learn. And we would not be doing anything else but relearning these basic life functions. The subconscious mind is really designed to keep us alive, to protect us, it's the survival mode for the most important functions to keep us alive. But it also picks up a lot of additional information, a lot of unwanted information. To give you an example, you were 2 years old and you went with your mom to a store and you saw a new toy and you wanted the toy, but your mom wanted to raise good being who is not spoiled, so she told you, honey, you cannot have the toy. But you are 2 years old, you've never played with a toy before, so it's only reasonable that you want the toy. So now you are on the floor screaming and kicking that you want the toy. And everyone is looking at your mom, and your mom, wants to show that she is raising her child properly. So she looks at you and says, honey, you are being bad boy. You do not deserve this toy. And so what the subconscious mind does, it's like a scan. It scans for any threat in the environment. So it scans, bad boy, do not deserve. And now that gets stored into that powerful subconscious mind programming. It's becomes like a little program running. You go to school as you grow up, as you are growing up, and your teacher is having bad day, and she says to the class, which actually happened to my 13-year-old son, they were not doing the project properly. So she stood up in front of the whole class and she said, you are such a disappointment. Now imagine how the mind takes it. Now it takes it, I am disappointment. And now these little programs are like little bosses running that programming in the subconscious mind, which is 1,000,000 times more powerful than the conscious mind. So fast forward 40 years later, you are with a great person and you want to make that relationship work. But in the back of your mind, there is this program running that you are disappointment, that you are a bad boy, that you do not deserve. And that's actually what's then reflecting through your behavior, and you self-sabotage that wonderful relationship. And that's where we are finding ourselves today. There are so many fears we've been filled with. This powerful processor is filled with fears. It can be fear of flying. It can be fear of certain religion. It can be fear of snakes, of raw food. It can be fear of disease, fear of death. It doesn't stop, because if we can think it, we can fear it. And because our social media and the whole world became so fear-based, because we do not know how to use the most powerful tool we've been gifted with into our benefit. We do not know how to actually create a bridge, properly decode that programming into our benefit, to really see the world as this unlimited potential, as this amazing opportunity for us to shine, and use this powerful processor really to show the inner genius and the inner powers that are within us, so we can become the shining star we came here to be. Thank you.